So glad that you can be here today to devote some time and space for yourself to feel well in the body and the mind. Thank you, as always, for supporting our studio, for staying committed, because there's nothing like consistency. Consistency is a wonderful thing in terms of feeling good, but also in terms of achieving goals and even just the wonderful sense of community, which we do have. All right, so I'm gonna start standing. You don't need to be near anything to start. Get warmed up. I know we've all been doing different activities, and so even if you've been awake for a long time or you've already done some things, it's good for us to sort of just move together. So here we are. So come to stand with your feet no wider than hip distance, but just about hip distance. And let's just find the breath. So ground down. And as you exhale, breathe your arms overhead. As you inhale, flip the palms and sweep. So exhale, feel your length in your posture. Shoulders down. Inhale, stretch and find some mobility. 2 more times. Exhale up. Inhale down. 1 more time. Exhale up. This time, come just to shoulder height and bring the hands to the shoulders. And then alternate shoulder circles backwards. Oh, this feels nice. I can feel this all the way down into my hips. And then take it the other way. Really move through that shoulder line. Beautiful. And then sweep the hands to the hips. We're going to lift those heels and bring them together. Lift the heels and bring them to parallel. Exhale to land. Inhale to lift. So create yourself 2 little balance beams to land on, and then really squeeze the glutes and inner thighs as you come to center. All right, 1 more time, then we're going to stay with the heels here. Beautiful. So we're going to step and tap behind. Breathing. Now this could be fast or slow. Little curtsy hops. Let's add an arm circle. So as you hop, the same arm as the back leg sweeps. So fancy. For 3, 2, last one, and then we're gonna land wide in second position, hands on the hips. We're gonna rock our way down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 through the hips, back up. 2, 3, 4 to stand and down. 2, feel the outside edges of the feet and up. 2, 3, 4. Last time down. 2, 3, 4 and up. 2, 3, 4. Now pull it down. Bring your hands in front of your chest. I'll turn so you can see me. We're going to tuck that tail as we press away with the palms. Good. Feel the glutes sweep together. Come under you for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now nice and wide. Pull the heel toward the glutes. And then pull back so the chest opens. Elbows leading behind you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and center. All right, we're going to warm up the spine on the mat. So here you are. Make sure you have a little space ahead of you. We're going to inhale, lift onto the toes. Exhale, send the weight to the heels and slide back to a chair. Inhale, lift. Blow it out. Inhale up. Feel length in the front body. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale. Make sure the belly lifts when you come back so you don't collapse to the thighs. 1 more. Now we're going to stay in that chair. Reach the arms up overhead and run. So we're pedaling through the feet. Keep the tail long so you don't have to tuck it under. You can draw the sitting bones toward each other. Good for 5 and 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Fold over and plant those hands. Step back to high plank, not for long, just hold. Feel a little strength and heat. And then bring the knees down to table. So set up well, lift that belly, long tail, 5 hip circles on the right. And then reverse the direction. Try to keep the back of your pelvis flat and level. And then stretch the right leg out, tuck the toes, and really elongate the calf muscles. And then bring that knee down. Make sure your neck is nice and long as you circle on the left. 5 times in each direction. Use your breath. Step the toe back and push into the left heel. One more breath here. Return the knee. Walk your hands forward and start to lower the hips to the mat. We're going to bring the elbows under the shoulders for space. Stretch your heart forward, stretch your toes back. On the exhale, push your elbows into the mat. Lift your belly and round forward around your sternum. Drop your chin toward your chest. You're broad and round. And on the inhale, lift the spine, lift the gaze. Drag the elbows back toward you and present the heart forward. One more time like this. Exhale. Hug everything up and round. Inhale, reach everything out. Beautiful. Then make a little shelf for the chin or the head. Keep the knees wide. And slowly windshield wiper side to side. Nice and slow. 4 more times. And 3. Last 2. Last 1. Extend those legs, hands into the chest. Exhale, up and back. Child's pose. Just stay here for 2 breaths. Breathe into the hips and shoulders. And then stack that spine up. All right, we're gonna work on some planking. Okay, so we're gonna come up onto the knees. Feel nice and long on the sides of the body and balance front to back. We're gonna tip over to the right. So let's land that right shoulder, hand right on the right shoulder. Press the left foot into the mat and side bend up and over. Oh, it should feel good. Inhale here, and then exhale, lift the foot and side bend toward that foot so hand comes toward the thigh. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, little side crunch. Inhale, push into the ground. Exhale here. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale here. Now reach that arm straight to the ceiling. Land that left leg and then stretch your right leg to full side plank. Hold here for 4 and 3. Lift strongly under the ribs. Last 2. Last 1. Bring the knee down. Turn to face your hands and bring your elbows under your shoulders. Good. We're going to hug the belly to the spine and reach back to elbow plank. Settle in. Feel long and strong. And maybe you stay right here. Or maybe you very slowly and with control, twist the hips side to side. Not trying to lift them a lot. And if your low back feels like it's being pulled, this isn't right for you. Let's try 4 more. 4 and 3. Breathe your way through it. Last 2. Small is better. Last 1. Come to center, drop the knees, and stack up. We're going to take our strong posture and tip over to the left. Left hand under the shoulder. Press the right foot into the floor, side bend, up and over. Inhale. Exhale, float up and reach. Inhale. Exhale, so you feel the spine moving laterally. And center. One more time after this. Here we go, big inhale, stretch out of the waist. Strong exhale. And then land the foot hand right above the shoulder. Stretch that left leg underneath. Squeeze the inner thighs for your side plank. Hold and breathe. Trust your strong back body for 3 and 2. Last 1. Bring that knee down, turn to face your hands. This time we'll stay up on the palms, tuck the toes, knees slightly behind your hips. Inhale here. Connect the ribs and hips and float those knees up to a hover. Stay and breathe. What can you bring out under the navel? Can you find a wrapping sensation? Can you find connection between ribs and hips? Can you lift the pelvic floor up by the diaphragm? For 3. You've got this nice long neck for 2. Last breath for 1. Knees down, relax back. Nice job. So hopefully you're building a little heat and strength as we come up to stand. All right. So we're going to grab a weight for this, just one. We're going to start in parallel. I'm going to turn this way so you can see this. And we're going to stretch that weight to the up straight from the shoulder. As we inhale, lift off the toes, we're going to stretch the weight forward, protracting the shoulder. Exhale, we'll come down and draw the shoulder back to the spine. 2 more of these. Inhale, reach forward as you releve. Exhale, come down. 1 more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, come down. Now this time we're going to inhale, lift up. I'm going to bend the knees and sit down to a little chair. Hold that chair and push and pull for a bicep curl. That's it. Keep the arm in front of the shoulder. Keep the humerus bone tucked back in the shoulder socket. For 3 and 2. Last 1. Now stay here and pulse up and down through the tail. Bring that tail straight down toward the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. Turn out. So we'll sweep up as we releve this time. Exhale, inhale. Leave space here. There you go. Breathe it up. Also try not to dip. Keep your posture. For 2. Last 1. Now we're going to sweep up and squeeze those heels together as we come down. Palm faces forward as we overhead press. Good. Stabilize on the opposite side body for 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Hook the weight on the shoulders. Squeeze those heels as you pulse. So squeeze your inner thighs and squeeze your glutes toward one another for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up to stand. We're going to sweep the weight forward and back as we lower down for 2 and up for 2. So it's a little semicircle. And still the opposite body stabilizes. Last 3. And 2. Really lift up and squeeze to the midline. Last 1. And release. Other side. So we'll start in parallel. Set the arm bone in the socket. Inhale, lift, roll the shoulder forward. Exhale, pull the shoulder back. Inhale, protraction as you releve. Exhale, retraction. 1 more time. Beautiful. Now we come up and slide down that imaginary wall for those bicep curls. Light hand on the bar. If you're strong, you can hold yourself up. For 4, 3, 2, hold here. Slide that tail up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up and turn it out. Sweep and lift. So this is not just the arm. This is the whole back body, the wing. For 4, 3, 2, last 1. Now sweep up and hold. Squeeze those heels together as you slide down. Palm forward. Reach up and down. You got this, guys. 4 more. Squeeze the heels. 3, 2, last 1. Hook it on the arm. Squeeze the heels. Make sure the tail's reaching straight down. You're not tucking or tilting through the pelvis. Squeeze the glutes toward one another for 4, 3, 2, stand tall. Lower down as you sweep and squeeze it up. Down for 2, up for 2. My ribs are not moving here. I'm stabilizing against the movement of my arm. Last 2. Last 1. Use that breath. And release. Put your weight aside. And we're going to face the back of the chair for some lunges. Here we are. It's like you're facing the bar, but you can actually see me. All right, parallel legs. Right leg back and tap. Inhale, exhale. Look straight ahead once you've got it. Bend both knees. Pay attention to this front knee, right? A lot of us are not as strong in the glutes as we need to be, so the knee rolls in or out. For 3 and 2. Last one. Now we're holding down. We'll pulse. 2, 3, jump switch. And if that doesn't feel right for you, you're gonna pulse, and then you're gonna step back. Step back. Otherwise, it's switch. 1, 2, bend both knees, switch. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Now left leg comes into tap and goes back. Exhale. Inhale. You need to pick down those knees to make sure they're cooperating. Do it. For 3, 2, 1. 4 switches. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Trust your feet. 1, 2, 3. Switch. Last one. Stand. Beautiful. Turn out. Into second. You don't have to turn, but I want you to see me. Slide down that wall. Lift one heel and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch heels. Stay as level as you can. Roll the knees open. 6, 7. Switch for 4. 1, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Now 2. 1, 2. Switch. 1. Again. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2. Now here, stay wide. You can bend and stand or hop. Almost there for 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Sit inside bend. Grow out of that waist. Looks like this, head on. You don't probably need the chair for this. Almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and finish. Come to a little plank or a little incline to run it out. You got it, guys, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Water if you need it, stretch if you need it. Towel if you need it. Hot in here. Okay, moving on. Let's grab those weights. I'm gonna give myself a little space. So we're gonna try to get into the back body here. So stand in a little V. Make sure your tail stays long, or if you'd rather be parallel, that's fine. So from the wings, we're gonna come up to this little cactus or goalpost. We're gonna take the left arm across to the right hip and back up. Inhale, but move slowly here. It might be too much with weights. You might need to put your weights down. For 3, and 2. You got it, last one. Now little pulses, squeeze the shoulders to the spine. Let's drop the elbows a little. Oh, that's better. Hopefully now you can feel the mid-back instead of the upper trapezius muscles, right? We don't want this working the top of the shoulders. We want to feel shoulder to spine for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring the arms down. Just release. One time. Now again, grow from the back body. This time it's right arm across. And up. Inhale. You got it. Use your abs. Otherwise, you're going to be rocking and rolling in the body. We don't want that. Last 3. And 2. Last one. Now bend those knees. Make sure you're parallel. Come to a nice flat back. Hug the tree arms and squeeze the shoulders to the spine. Again, don't worry about being really forward. You should feel like you're reaching almost down and back. Good. For 5 and 4, 3 and 2. Last one, roll up through the spine. Shake the shoulders out again. Gorgeous. Step to second. Slide down that wall, roll the legs open. We're gonna keep our wrists on the same plane as the shoulders as we tap forward and pull back. Gorgeous. For 5, 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. Bring the weights down. Turn your right leg out and come into a warrior 2. Sweep the arms up, tip. You're going to take this top arm, turn it toward the bottom arm, and pull up and across. So yes, even the ribs turn a little. Stay in that lunge, front leg. Turn. Exhale, pull. Like you're drawing a bow. Last 2. Last one. Now bring the weights down in toward your chest to switch sides. There you go. Open those arms. Tip. Sweep the arm down, turn your gaze. Exhale, pull open. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Fully controlled, resisting the air and bending into that front knee. Or 3. And 2. Last one. Bring the weights into the chest. Come up to stand. All right, we're going to put the weights aside. And we're going to use the seat of the chair, like a bar. You might want to make sure that your chair is not going to move. I'm going to push mine up against something. That might help you. All right, so we're layering movements here, so you'll recognize some of these. We need a lot of strong shoulders and back body. So we're going to bring one hand to the chair, make sure it's under the shoulder, and set up in what feels like a side plank. We're going to stretch the arm overhead and lift up. So this is just like what we did on the floor. But now we're standing. For 3, 2, last one. Now bring the hand out from the shoulder, the leg out from the hip, and circle them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land the foot. We're going to turn to the bar and open up. Turn and open up. Make sure your fingertips on the chair are facing away from you. This is just what we just did with weights. One more time. Now keep that arm up and see if you can come to a tree leg. Really support underneath. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Cross that outside leg in front. We're going to turn and swivel to face the seat. Push up and open back up. All to the same side. Turn, push down and up. Open up. 2 more times. Turn. Hug your belly up. Hug your elbows in. Really strong. Last one. And then we're going to go to the other side. Stay here. Sit your weight back. Get out of the wrists and the shoulder a little bit. You can, of course, do this all on the mat. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to get stable. Hand under shoulder. Come to that plank-like shape. Stretch toward the chair and then lift up. Inhale, exhale. So I'm feeling my ribs. Slide down toward my lower leg and slide down toward my upper leg. One more time. And now I'll sink into that plank, arm and leg up for little circles. Really feel the bones moving in the joints for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land that foot, turn to face the chair, pull up and across the chest. Rotate, exhale, pull. Inhale, my shoulders and ribs turn. Exhale, I open up flat. One more time. Staying here, maybe finding tree. Really lifting and feeling opposition between the hands for 4. Long neck, loose neck for 3. Last 2. And 1, land that foot. Turn to face that chair. Push down and up. Swivel open. You might have to organize the hand on the chair each time. 3 more. Last 2. If your form is suffering, don't do the push-up. Last 1. You got this. And then push up and back. Feel that nice long back. Soften the knees. Relax the shoulders. And then roll up through the spine. Awesome job. Okay, we're going to grab the band. If you've got a band, you could use weights for this, or nothing. Your body weight would be fine too. Okay, step the right foot into the band. Make sure your tails are pretty even. Left foot back into somewhat of a lunge. You feel like a launching pad. We're going to start with biceps, so you're going to want to choke up on the band a little bit. Long posture, belly away from thighs, alternating bicep curls. So, shine your heart forward. Let the collarbone smile wide. Hug the elbows in toward the ribs. And move here. You got this. 4, 8, 6, 4, 2, and finish. Now we're going to turn the grip, and you want a little more band for tricep work. So we're going to shift into that front leg a little more. We're going to lift the arms straight up and back, and maybe you'll lift the leg too. Squeezing the glutes. Not a huge lift. This is more about arm work than glute work. Keep the front knee bent a little. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land that foot inside the other. Sit to a little chair. Reach behind yourself and squeeze the band in like you're trying to tap your hips. Gaze forward, nice long neck. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's put the right foot back. And do that whole thing one more time. Choke up on your band. Hug your elbows in. Chest open. Shoulders back and down. Alternate those bicep curls. A little hinge, so you feel like you're a nice long launching pad. 8, 6, 4, 4, you got this. 3, 2, 1. Change that grip so the palms face in. Reach behind you, palms back. Press straight back. Maybe you lift that back leg. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that back foot in. Reach behind you, squeeze in. Don't let the knees kiss. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release that band. Put it aside. Gorgeous job. Okay. If you have a small band, now it's time to get it out. If not, don't worry, it will still work. Okay. Band's going to come above the knees. And straighten to the side of the bar for chair. Here we are. Okay, little first, so we're turned out. This inside leg is going to stay bent. I'm going to take that outside leg, sweep the knee forward, stretch the leg behind us. So knee and then long. Make sure you're turned out. Exhale, stretch back. And this works without a band, remember. A little bend in the support leg so we don't get into the low back. For 3, and 2, think long. And 1. Now bring that outside ankle behind the other one. Stretch it out, pull it in. Stretch it out, pull it in. I'm feeling this here, not in my low back. For 3, and 2. Last one. Now I'm going to bring it behind and tuck my tail under like I'm drawing it through my legs. And I'm going to open to the little diagonal line back in behind me in the corner of the room. Now my hip here is tight, so my pelvis wants to swing all around. And that's what that tuck tries to avoid. So that I'm just working in the glutes. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Let's see if I can do this balancing on the other side, So outside leg, knee forward, stretch back. Here's my hand on the imaginary chair. My support leg is bent. Exhale up, stretch back. I want to feel the gluteal muscles elongating and activating. For 4, and 3. Here's 2. Try to fall to the floor behind you. Last one. Now bring that ankle behind the other. Extend the leg and tap. So I'm reaching out a tiny diagonal, not way behind myself. Because again, I want the work to be in the right place. For 4, and 3, 2, you got this. And 1, now it comes behind and I really draw that tail under. I feel the abs kick in as I lift from the hip, so out from this hinge of my hip. For 8, 7, 6, no swinging pelvis for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to stand. If you have a band, bring it down above the ankles. We're just going to do some abduction. So a little bend. We're going to lift on one side, shift, lift on the other. That's 1. Let's do 2. 1, 2. Slow shift. 1, 2. Try not to lean too far. Here's 3. Balance into that standing leg. 1, 2, 3. Going for 4. Right from here. We don't want to feel this in the front of the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiny break. Going to 5. Little bend so that the tail stays long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I hope you really felt it here. When my hip flexors start to take over, I know that my glutes have fatigued, and that's enough, because then I lose my form. All right, guys. This might be our last standing song. It is. And then we'll hit the mat for a little more work. So I'm going to stand next to the chair. So this is, again, going to mirror the work in side bending that we've been doing throughout class. You just keep layering another element on top. So a little V, make sure you have a little space away from your bar. I'm going to take that outside leg, cross behind in a curtsy. So my back heel is up, front foot is fully landed. I'm going to bend, sending the knees wide, and then squeeze the inner thighs and glutes together to pulse up. Like a bellows. I think my writer reminded me of that word. Heel into both feet. For 8, 7, lift away from the floor. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend and side bend to the bar. Stand and tap. Bend back, stand and tap. So this is what we started with on the mat and what we did elevated in the chair. Now we're fully standing, fully weight bearing. And your leg doesn't need to come to the side. It can come out on a diagonal. For 5, 4, use your breath. 3, 2, last one, step to second, slide down that wall, open here. Little fighter stance, twist through that waist. You got it. So you don't have to turn your head, especially if it makes you dizzy, look forward. But feel the ribs, right? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're going into double pulses. Pulse, pulse, turn, pulse, pulse. So it's second, lunge, pulse. Bend that back knee. Turn, pulse. 2 more. And we'll do the other side. Last one. Transition. Little space, outside leg behind. Back heel up, bend down that wall. Squeeze as you lift. Inner thigh squeeze, feel your glutes push together in the back. So feel buoyant. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend those knees, side bend toward your bar. Kick and stand, come back to curtsy. And I'm even a little close on the side. Exhale here. Really elongate that spine. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. Step it wide, slide down. Little fighter stance. You don't have to hyperventilate, but breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Double pulses. Pulse, pulse, turn, pulse. Open, close. Second, lunge. Last 2. Last one. And finish. Woohoo! All right, we have 2 songs on the mat. I'm gonna have my chair ready with the seat facing my mat. Now come on down. I just remembered for abs, we're going to use weights. We're just going to set up now. So I've got my weights here, out of my way, but at the ready. Okay, I'm going to face you for this. So my right elbow is going to come down. My left fingers will stay tented. So the tented hand is the working leg. We're going to start with the bent knee. We're going to pull the knee down toward the other knee. We're going to press it up. We're going to turn the knee out and pull it toward the elbow, and then push it back up behind. Now I'm going to show you from this side. So it's up. Well, actually, it's down, up, turn out, pull wide, push up and square. So knee faces down. Knee faces down. It's still bent. Knee faces out. Knee faces down. Pull, push, pull wide, push. Square hips, square hips. Turned out in the working leg, square hips. One more time, down, up, out, behind. Now bring that leg down long behind you. Cross your arms like a G. Push back into that heel and then push the top of your other foot down and hover the knee. Hold here. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Drop the knees. Ready for the other side. So mine was, I worked on the right last time. So I'm going to have left palm up, right elbow down, left knee facing down by hovering. We're going to pull it straight down, push it straight up, pull it wide, push it back. This isn't fast because I really want to feel the abs kick in. I don't want my back to be wonky. I don't want to shift too much weight to my right side. So push up with a square hip, open and turn out the hip, push back to square, pull back down. Your belly lifts to keep your pelvis nice and level. Last one after this one. So knee down, knee up, squeeze those glutes, knee wide, knee up. Stretch that leg long, tuck the toes, genie arms, push into the opposite foot and hover the knee and hold. You're almost there. Hug the belly for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Come on down. Set up for your final plank. Full plank if you can muster it. Hands under shoulders. If that's not right for you, knee down plank. Otherwise, step into a full plank. We're going to take that left side. Knee to elbow and back. Exhale, 4 times. Last 2. Last 1. Knees down if you need it. Other side, full plank. Settle in. Right knee to right elbow and back. Look straight down for 2. And 3. Last 1. Bring the knees down. Get out of the wrists. And then come forward. Let's just do a quick shoulder stretch. So lay on your belly. Take your left arm out and then reach it under. Oh, like a little L. Look at the floor. Open the back of that shoulder. And switch sides. Right arm comes out. Thread it through. Oh, hopefully this feels nice. Gets all the way down into my wings. All right, you have 1 song of work left. Back to the center. Push up. So we're going to face the chair and lay down. Again, have your weights nearby and grabbable. So feet are going to go on the chair, and you really want them sort of above your hips. Now, typically when we put our legs in the air, we would come into imprint, but we don't need to here because the chair holds the weight. So we can stay in neutral. We take the weight in the right hand and bring the left hand behind the head. Lift up to a little hinge, try to keep the tail heavy, or penguins. So I'm trying to sweep the weight under my right hip almost, but it's not rotation. I'm not coming across. What's enabling this to happen is that the right side rib cage is sliding down to the right hip. So it's lateral. Again, so much lateral work today. For 4 And 3, 2, try not to pull on your neck, last one, lower down for the other side. Check out that pelvis again, so you can keep it nice and neutral. Right hand behind the head, left hand grabs the leads. Inhale here, lift slightly. You're just hovering your shoulders. It's not truly forward flexion. You can look up at the ceiling as you sweep the weight under the left hip. For 5, and 4. Don't reach with your arm, reach with your side body. 3, and 2. Last one. Release the weights. You don't need them for now. Now we find an imprint. So draw the tail under you. Hips roll towards ribs. Float the legs up. Bring the hands palm to palm and push them toward your knees. Exhale, curl up if that's right for you. Into single leg stretch. So I like this. The chair keeps me from going too low, and my hands keep me from coming too close, because I really want to land the knee just above the hip. Breathe. Exhale. This can be done with your head down, but just don't go back and forth. Make a choice. For 8, 7, you're almost there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land your feet. Bend your arms, curl up to one bridge so that you can release the head and neck. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Up and in for 4. For 3, you got this. For 2. And roll down through the spine. Find your imprint, so don't even roll all the way down. Just roll to that imprint. Legs come into space. So we're going to curl the head up. Pinkies edge to the knees. We're going to sweep overhead as we reach the legs long. Sweep back and return the knees. Exhale, so it's double leg stretch with the arm circles. Sweep out, pinkies lead back to the knees. Exhale out. Inhale. Almost there. 4 more. You got it. Breathe. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Now bring the hands behind your head. Stretch your legs over your chair and maybe under if it doesn't pull you out. Over. If it pulls you into your arch, into arching your low back, then instead try taking one leg to the outside of the seat at a time. Do what you like better. You got this. 4 more times, whatever you're doing, whether it's over and under or like a rainbow. Last 2. Last 1. Hug those knees. Maybe rock side to side. Awesome job, guys. I'm gonna get ready to stretch. We're gonna use the chair for that as well. So try to come into command of your breath. Bring the soles of the feet together. Knees come wide. Arms can come out from your sides or overhead. You want to feel opening in the front of the shoulders and the front of the hips. Breathe. Let gravity wash over you. Let the bones settle and the tissues soften. And the inhales and exhales elongate. One more breath here. Gorgeous. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Walk your feet apart. Take your arms out to a T. And we're going to drop the knees over to the left as we gaze right. And not only are we going to get a twist in this waist, we're going to try to elongate the front of the thigh on the right. So think quadricep muscles. So try to reach that right leg almost away from you, that right knee. See if you can stretch the quads a bit, all the way up into the hip. One more breath, inhaling. Exhale, slowly come through center. Let your hips feel heavy in the middle. And then let your knees fall to the right. Maybe look back at that left hand. And not just a torso twist, but also that knee reaching away to stretch the front of the quads on the left, the front thigh. Heavy in the shoulders. One more breath here. Inhale, last breath and twist. Exhale back to center. Bring your feet up to the chair. Let's cross that right heel over the left knee. Settling the hips toward the mat and maybe encouraging the right knee wide with the right hand, only if it helps. You don't want it to rotate you. Maybe flex both feet and allow some settling and opening in the back of the right hip. Nothing like stretching when the body's really warm. One more breath. And then if you can, maybe gather the outside of that foot and come to one-sided happy baby. So I've got my right knee falling toward my right armpit. I'm going to settle my right shoulder and stacking the sole of my foot over the knee. So this is for the back of the right hip, but this also helps me release my hip flexor on the right. One more breath here. Now carefully release that leg. You might want to grab behind the thigh and then extend the heel up to the ceiling and see if you can stretch into the belly of the hamstrings. If you want to really elongate that leg, you might like to crawl your hands up, point the toe. You can play with the point and the flex, which one you like better. And then just breathe. Think long, long, long in the legs. One more inhale. And then gently release. Bring your feet to the mat and just lift your hips and drop them down a few times if that feels good on your sacrum. They'll get some vibration into the bones and it'll also sort of just reset the pelvis. One more breath here, and then we'll get ready for the other side. So this time the right foot comes on top and then the left heel is going to drape over that right knee. I'm going to flex both feet. I'm going to relax my shoulders and neck. And I'm going to encourage that left knee a little bit wide with my left hand. Again, not rolling onto that left hip. So think of weighting the back of my pelvis. Long breaths. And really, gravity is so powerful in stretch. If you can use your breath to soften toward it. One more inhale. I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to grab. I like to hold the outside of my foot. You could hold the inside to come to one-sided happy baby. I'm going to try to keep my right leg parallel and focus on the turnout on the left side. As my knee falls into my armpit, my shoulder settles to the mat, and my foot stacks above my knee. And I'll breathe. Long, softening breaths, encouraging breaths, releasing breaths. Weighting the right pelvis, the back side of the right pelvis. One more inhale. And then I'm going to extend that leg up to the ceiling. First, I'll hug behind the thigh and see if I can get my knee over my hip. And then I might curl up a little more just so that the stretch can come all the way down the back of my leg. I'm going to play with that pointing or flexing of the toe and decide which one I prefer and breathe into it. One more breath. And then I'll gently release, bring both feet to the mat. I'm going to stretch one arm overhead and roll to my stomach. I'm going to split the feet to the outsides of my chair and let the heels roll in. So I'm turned out. I'll lift my belly away from the mat and draw my tail down. Goal post arms help me come up to a breaststroke prep. This might be just enough for you, stretching the heart forward. I'm focusing on thoracic extension. Or you might want to push your hands into the mat, lift your belly, and come up into full extension. But again, not if it's at the expense of the low back. This is full extension. It's not just a compression and a hinging up from lumbar. One more breath here. Maybe turn your gaze over each shoulder and just notice how the neck feels nice and slowly. And lower back down to the mat. I'm going to carefully put my left foot inside the chair and grab my right. Just another quick quadricep stretch. We did a little bit of it when we twisted. I'm just going to let the front of my hips soften to the mat and remind my thigh bones to stay parallel so the knee stays under the hip. And then gently switch sides. Watch out for your chair. You don't need to smack your feet at the end of class. Again, softening the front of that hip. One big breath here. And then I'll gently release, bringing the hands under my shoulders and lifting up and back for puppy instead of child's pose. So I'm going to keep my hips over my knees, walk my hands to the corner of the mat, and see if I can drop my forehead. So really long back, lots of activity in the shoulders. So I'm not just dumping into the mat, I'm pushing the mat away. One more breath here. And then I'm going to walk my hands up through center, roll up to my knees. I'll turn to face you for this. Stepping the left foot forward and coming into a lunge. And then I'm going to take the right arm overhead to pat myself on the back. A tricep stretch here. So I'm going to drop the chin toward my chest and then push my head back into my arms and open up the back side of my right arm. You could side bend here too, and it might make the hip stretch more intense, so just listen to the body. Make sure your front knee is over your hip, your ankle, and then lift up, slowly releasing the arms and switching sides. So squaring up to the lunge, sinking down and forward. This time it's my left arm that comes up overhead. I'm going to use my right arm to assist. Chin gently reaches toward chest, and then my head elongates back. So it's also a bit of spinal extension for me. I like the side bend. It increases my hip stretch and my tricep stretch. So that whole left side of my body gets really open. One last breath here. And then release. So I'm going to take this leg out long, put my hands down, bend into that knee, and step my other leg into a wide forward fold. I'll bend into that right knee and walk my hands across. I'm going to take my right hand to my right thigh, left hand across to the ankle. I'm going to pull my shoulders around toward the right and bend into that left elbow so the back of the shoulder can release. Neck is long and relaxed. I'll release the hands, they'll come to the mat, and I'll walk through to the other side. So now I'm bending into the left knee, left hand to thigh, right hand across to grab the outside of my leg. I'm going to bend the elbow, turn my ribs and my shoulders over to the left, and stretch open the back of the right arm and shoulder. One more breath. And I'll release, come back through center, bring my hands to my thighs, feel a nice flat back, and then tuck the tail and slowly unwind my spine, come into a little V. I'll sweep the arms in front of the chest, settling the shoulders in their sockets. Feeling the length of my posture and spine from the feet to the tips of the ears. Inhale to rise. Exhale to land. Inhale to lift that heart. All done. Beautiful job, guys.